Good morning, dear viewers. This is Darshan Meghalaya bringing to you live from our newsroom, and welcome to the Breakfast News. It's the second day of the week and we welcome you and we're glad you're starting your day with us. Before we move on to the news in details, let us take a quick look at the headlines. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh reviews Nectar initiatives in Shillong, calls for stronger scientific collaboration and innovation-led development across the Northeast. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma reaffirms Meghalaya's firm stand against uranium mining, assures strict action over the borewell tragedy and reviews financial assistance for the victims' families. Meghalaya BJP announces it will contest the upcoming Shillong Lok Sabha by-election. Party says candidate will be finalized by the central leadership after the election schedule is announced. And 5 tourists from Uttar Pradesh arrested in West Bengal over alleged vandalism at Shillong Airbnb property. Now, let's have a look at the news in details. First, the local news. Union Minister of State for Science and Technology Jitendra Singh yesterday chaired a high-level review meeting at Nectar headquarters in Shillong, calling for stronger collaboration among India's leading science and technology institutions to drive innovation-led development in the Northeast. The minister stressed the need to translate scientific research into practical solutions that benefit farmers, entrepreneurs, students and rural communities. During his visit, he inaugurated Nectar's Advanced Geoinformatics Laboratory and reviewed several flagship initiatives, including mobile food processing technology, soil testing facilities and STEM education programs. Singh also lauded Nectar's efforts in drone training, geospatial technology and skill development, saying these initiatives reflect the centre's commitment to leveraging science and technology for inclusive growth in the Northeast. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma has reaffirmed that the state government's stand against uranium mining remains firm and unchanged. Responding to the recent borewell tragedy, the Chief Minister said strict legal action will be taken against those responsible for illegal construction and any violation of safety regulations. He also said the government is examining ways to provide financial assistance to the families of the victims, noting that they belong to economically weaker sections. While existing disaster relief norms do not cover such incidents, the government is reviewing available options and has assured accountability as well as support for the bereaved families.
Yeah, I mean, action will be taken against those who are doing this. There were rules, laws, and certain things were prohibited. Individuals who are not following those prohibitions, are breaking the laws, breaking the rule, appropriate action will be taken against them. And also we are examining that there are some requirements because they are all from very, very economically weak section of society, those who passed away. So therefore we are looking at ways in which we can give some support. So I'm examining. I had received a letter yesterday from some of the party members from the National People's Party. The Nongthamai unit had written to me, and so did other units from even from if I'm not wrong, I think one was from Nongkrem, and one more was, there were 2 more from a different constituency. So all the constituency party units have written to me. So I'm examining and seeing how we can help. The problem is that under the disaster management, there is no provision to support in accidents which happen like this. But as I said, because they are from very poor background, I will examine the matter and then I'll take a decision.
Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma has said that the main challenge in setting up entry and exit check gates is not the infrastructure but the legal framework required to enforce inspections. Responding to queries on the proposed checkpoints at Umling, the Chief Minister said the government can install the gates at any time, but they will only be effective if backed by legal provisions. He said the proposed amendment to the Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act, or MRSSA, is aimed at providing the necessary legal authority for inspections and regulation. The Chief Minister added that the government is continuing work on the amendment to ensure the checkpoints function effectively.
So getting an entry-exit checkpoint is not an issue. We can set it up today, we can set it up tomorrow. The question is about having a legal mechanism to implement and actually enforce a checking that should happen. So that's where the problem and the challenge is, and that's where we were hoping that the MRSSA amendment would then allow us to have that system in place. So putting up a gate is not an issue at all, but making it and enforcing it to check and what kind of checking takes place, that is the key issue. So opening up a gate tomorrow and having a person sitting there is not going to serve the purpose. So he's right in the sense that we will set up, but as I said, in order for it to become actually effective in the way that we would want it to be, it will require some work to be done, which is what the MRSSA amendment was supposed to be. We're working on it. Let's hope for the best.
The Meghalaya BJP has announced that it would field a candidate for the upcoming Shillong Lok Sabha by-election. Addressing the media yesterday, State General Secretary Wankit Bokpochna said several party leaders have already applied for the ticket, while the final candidate will be decided by the party's central leadership after the Election Commission announces the polls scheduled. Pochna said the BJP believes electing a party MP from Meghalaya would strengthen the state's representation at the centre and help pursue its developmental priorities. He also clarified that suggestions regarding individual candidates reflect personal views and not the party's official position.
Ki applicants kila don the party kan system ya karai kadang ka process ya ka party system ya karai. I'm sure the party will make the right choice at the right time. Pada kita proses kalau apa yang dulu chat, nama kadang laga jom committee, nak saya apa kerja dalam jom state president, lapet kita berangkat. Tekan nong kai ba kaban but kan penketik ya leader kita halor jeni, nadu prime minister tertentu. But nggak saya ini ki issues kita mudan apa cuma kipun ki issues ni kan dalam filtration ni kan kipun ki tengah saya nak discuss at that platform at that point of time. Nama ki habang mudan hidung nom ikon upadan hagal yang seksha kahamsu ba ngamong la ban penurlong ni la pada manra ini kita ki issues kita kejelat. Nah saya kahamsu banginnya kana.
Police have registered a case against the owner and contractor of the apartment in Lapalang, where 5 men lost their lives after allegedly inhaling carbon monoxide inside a narrow well. SP East Khasi Hills Vivek's Aim said the case has been registered under Section 1061 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita for causing death by negligence, along with relevant provisions of the Disaster Management Act. The owner and contractor have been questioned and their statements recorded, while notices have been issued to them. Police said the investigation is continuing and reports from the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board and the Water Resources Department are awaited to determine whether negligence led to the tragedy.
5 people died in a well, as you've seen that in the papers, that they died of carbon monoxide poisoning. A case has been registered under 106 for negligence leading to death, Section 51 of the Disaster Act. And the 2 people who actually have been imputed out here is the owner of the premises, Carlos Hing, and contractor Marshall Bina. They have been summoned today under 33(3) BNSS, and they've been examined, statements recorded. This case investigation is on, and we are waiting for the opinions from different departments like pollution, water resources and all that, and to see if there's any negligence on the part of the owner and the contractor. And after we get these opinions from them, as they've already visited the spot on Saturday, then we will take a call as to how the fate of the case.
Meghalaya BJP General Secretary Wankitbok Poshna has welcomed the state government's decision to constitute regional committees for the second phase of the Assam-Meghalaya boundaries settlement. He expressed hope that Assam would also form its committees soon to accelerate the resolution of the long-pending interstate border dispute. Poshna said people living in the disputed border areas continue to face difficulties in accessing education, healthcare and government welfare schemes due to unresolved boundary issues. He urged both state governments to expedite the talks, ensure the protection of residents' rights and work towards a permanent and peaceful settlement.
Menteri Rangba, Shimir dan Senjam, form no into the regional committees day. Abai day ban pendek, yang jingi karan abai day dispute keberang jah gitu ki. 6 areas mah, so under 3 Jakarta. Te kalau kay ibustran ban ngikerman ban nagalyang gacela Assam no bahkan sa kan senang penyak cekmat ya kam namar ladon kam bi ban yathin ban ya sim ya kata Sinjam ban sort no in issues kam ta mai bede ko block 1 block 2 langpi te ngikerman ba lemba kanika step sim ga sarkar jela bat ngikerman ga sarkar Assam lo kanang instead kram makin poisa meeting kran ban yo ban resolve ban smooth ko kram ba ka jingim jom itu pai bahasa tu kan bed no.
5 tourists from Uttar Pradesh accused of vandalizing an Airbnb property in Shillong's Risa colony were arrested by Meghalaya police in Alipurdwar, West Bengal on Sunday, but were granted bail after being produced before a local court. The case was registered following a complaint that the group allegedly damaged the guest house, threatened the owner and left without paying compensation. East Khasi Hills Superintendent of Police Vivek Aim said Meghalaya police coordinated with police in Assam and West Bengal to trace the accused. The investigation into the case is continuing.
They had left without making compensation for the same. A case was registered immediately, and a team was sent the very next day. That was yesterday. To trace these people. We had been in touch with the counterparts from Assam, SP Kokrajhar and SP Alipurdwar. And in Sabuktala yesterday at about 4 to 5, between 4 to 5, we had intercepted these people by the name of Vikas Singh, Avinash Singh, Akan Pratap Singh and 3 other minors. About 17 years old. After the interception by Alipurdwar police in Sabuktala PS area, our team from here had gone there to Alipurdwar and had arrested them and produced them in the court of the CJM in Alipurdwar. However, as the offences are below 7 years, they have received bail. The minors also have been produced before the Juvenile Justice Board. Though they've received bail, arrest has been made. Investigation will carry on to ensure that we charge sheet them at the earliest.
Meghalaya police have issued a nationwide lookout notice to trace a college student accused of raping a minor and sexually exploiting multiple young women. East Khasi Hills Superintendent of Police Vivek Aim said the accused has been absconding since allegations against him surfaced on social media, prompting the formation of a special investigation team. Police have registered an FIR, recorded the complainant's statement and said the investigation indicates there may be additional victims. Authorities have appealed for cooperation as efforts continue to locate and arrest the accused.
We have spoken to some new victims, and but it's just over the phone, and we have called them to come and take a statement. And I think let's see. We know so far. From social media posts, I mean, that is not fact. We are yet to ascertain the veracity of that. So unless people come forward, even these other two who got, we are yet to ascertain. I mean, unless they come forward and give their statement and we examine them and get the veracity of their statement, only then can we ascertain that yes, they are victims of these victims.
The Meghalaya Paragliding Association has announced that it will take responsibility for the education and welfare of the two school-going children of one of the victims who died in the Lapalang borewell tragedy. Association President Nikolai Singh said the victim and his brother were not part of the construction work, but had rushed to rescue those trapped inside the well after hearing cries for help. While acknowledging the state government's decision on ex gratia assistance, the association said it would support the children with the education, food, clothing and other essential needs until they complete class 12, describing the deceased as brave individuals who sacrificed their lives in an act of selfless humanity.
I, as the President of Meghalaya Paragliding Association and the General Secretary Bajo Pangru, we have taken the decision of supporting these two children till class 12, till the time they become adults, their food, clothing, medical, schooling, anything that has to be done like parents. This company is going to be parents to them from now. And for the future, I would just request that whoever wants to help anyone, the government should see the difference. These two children, that was the only father. He had jumped in not here because he was paid. He had jumped in not because he was a Khasi. He jumped in because he was a person, a citizen of this place helping the others. So nothing is happening, fine. From now, MPA will take care of these two children for everything till the time they turn adults.
The Sinjuk Kirambashnong Kahima Maharam's aimship has opposed provisions of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Regulation and Administration of Land Amendment Bill 2026 at an emergency meeting in Makurwat held yesterday. The organization said it objects specifically to the proposed amendment to Section 16, which seeks to remove the requirement for prior consultation with the Dorbar Shnong, Dorbar Raj and Dorbar Hima. Sinjuk President P. Wanyang said the move would undermine the powers and role of traditional institutions. The organization also extended its support to the Sinjuk Kinong Sinsharshnong Kabri Hinyotreb in demanding the recall of the bill.
Amendment to section but shall be deleted. Kebamut bayar board jom consultation jom buat kirang basnong di don basnong kebamut ba delete no. Tikata tin delete kalau tin keba ngim suhab kom tin sasnong buat ngisoba badai ke board jom kirang basnong pej ke bahag miat song thau delete no te ke bobot ba kata kadu ke bor juga do bersno guru wa delete no kamur bor isu te halot ni ke bang isu kursa ba ni lekut bangin in kesan in support ya ke ba sunjuk jong tino sarsong jong primi trip lang in sikmat te ngiru in support ke ni Kasam ni kami ba kadisik kursil kadai ban wenno ya kali ka amendment jok section ko khat reu kadang su pasunta kadang pha governor.
Moving on now to the national news. Union Textiles Minister Giriraj Singh yesterday visited Indie Heart 2026 at the National Crafts Museum in New Delhi, celebrating India's rich handloom and handicraft heritage. Organized alongside Bharat Tex 2026, the event showcases the craftsmanship of artisans and weavers from across the country. Addressing the gathering, the minister said India is emerging as a global hub for sustainable textile manufacturing with a focus on zero water footprint, zero carbon footprint and upcycling. He added that Bharat Tex 2026, beginning tomorrow with participation from around 127 countries, is poised to become one of the world's leading textile industry events.
Zero carbon footprint, इसी थीम पर अप साइकिल की ओर हम काम कर रहे हैं और मुझे खुशी है कि जितने यहाँ एंटरप्रेन्योर ने लगाया है, भारत के अंदर लगभग 78 लाख टन ये वेस्ट का एक आंकड़ा है, लेकिन मुझे लग रहा है ये आंकड़ा कम है क्योंकि पर कैपिटा 2014 में 25 मीटर कपड़े यूज करते थे, आज मोर देन नियर अबाउट 50 मीटर टेक्सटाइल फैब्रिक यूज कर रहे हैं पर हेड, चाहे वो कर्टेल हो, एवरीथिंग यूज बाय द इंडियन per capita.
Following up next, we have the sports news. Team Revolution Mixed Martial Arts yesterday felicitated its athletes who brought laurels to Meghalaya's by winning 7 medals at the Kickboxing OFC 4 Mohan Sonowal Trophy Championship held in Assam. The 10-member team returned with an impressive haul of 4 gold, 2 silver and 1 bronze medal. The medal winners were honoured at the Academy's training centre in Shillong, where the athletes described the achievement as a proud moment in their first appearance at the championship. They credited their coaches and Team Revolution for their success and expressed confidence of winning more medals for Meghalaya in future competitions.
National Kickboxing Championship was held in North Lakhimpur, which is in Assam. So for this tournament, we trained hard for 1 month, and our coaches, they trained us professionally and regulars. How do I say? The training was very tough, it was intense, and also at the same time it was professional, and that's the reason why we managed to bring 4 championship belts for the gym members and the people of Meghalaya. On the first fight, I was very nervous, so it was not that good. But on the second round, I tried to calm myself down. Then I went with the game plan that Coach Kisan has made for us. Then I won by a TKO, which is a technical knockout in the second round, under 1 minute. As for my second fight with the Mizoram guy, from the first round, I went with the Coach Kisan's game plan, and it was better than the first fight as I was not nervous in there. I dominated all the rounds, then I won through decision. All my winnings are through coach's guidance and through all my teammates' sweat and tears poured into it. We cannot achieve it without any hard work, any professional guidance from our coach. This belt was earned by hard work. And my fight experience is that it was very hard. We had to fight three fights. My opponents were from Meghalaya, Goa, and Manipur.
And now let's have a look at the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report for Tura. The minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius, the maximum temperature was 31 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 99%, and the rainfall 42.4 millimeters. Moving on to Shillong, the minimum temperature was 20 degrees Celsius, the maximum temperature was 27 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 96%, and rainfall 19.2 millimeters. Meanwhile, in July, the minimum temperature was 20 degrees Celsius, the maximum temperature was 28 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 97%, rainfall 7.7 millimeters. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and July says heavy rain with thunderstorm likely to occur at many places. Before we conclude, let us take a quick look at the headlines once again. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh reviews Nectar initiatives in Shillong, calls for stronger scientific collaboration and innovation-led development across the Northeast. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma reaffirms Meghalaya's firm stand against uranium mining, assures strict action over the borewell tragedy and reviews financial assistance for the victims' families. Meghalaya BJP announces it will contest the upcoming Shillong Lok Sabha by-election. Party says candidate will be finalized by the central leadership after the election schedule is announced. And 5 tourists from Uttar Pradesh arrested in West Bengal over alleged vandalism at Shillong Airbnb property. Well, dear viewers, that's all we have for you for our breakfast news. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned as we bring to you the Khasi News Bulletin in a short while. And for more updates, you can also follow us on our social media platforms. This is Gracefully Kharkungor. But before signing off, a quick reminder, heavy rainfall is expected across Meghalaya, so stay safe and take care. Until then, have a wonderful day ahead and goodbye.